Hi. I'm Courtney Scott Wright, and this is the Geeky Critique. All right, so let's get into it. Paramount Plus premiered Halo last night, and I didn't play the game, so I don't really know much about it. I know who Master Chief is. I've heard like Cortana. I know all a few of the catchphrases from the game, but overall, I'm a complete newbie to this series. Now, interestingly enough, I read an article in the Variety magazine talking about how the show creator said that he avoided anything about that had to do with the game, that he didn't play the game, that he didn't look at the game, that he really just focused on the characters and creating a cohesive story. Now, at first, I was like, ooh, how is that gonna work? Because a lot of times you really like having people that are well versed in the world and the characters and played the game, because then they have this passion that they bring to it that is something that you hope translates into the first episode or the through line of the series itself, because you have passion as someone who played the game. Like, you want to see that. So I was like, how is this gonna work? Like, I'm not really sure what to expect, but you know, I'm a geeky girl and this is right up my alley. So I was like, let me just take a little look-see. Now, first off, right off the bat, I'm not going to give huge spoilers. I'm just going to give like my insights, but I do want you to know I am going to talk a little bit about it. So just like warning, okay? I'm not going to get in depth into the pilot episode itself, but I am going to talk about it. So you have been warned. Okay. For me, the overall feel of Halo was like a 1980s throwback to like Starship Trooper or it had this gritty, earthy kind of like OG Star Trek kind of feel, because like you don't know where you are, the look of it, the way the shots are. There's this gritty kind of like yellowish sepia tone to it, and it really feels like it's this aged property, which right off the bat I was like, ooh, this is interesting. I don't really know how I feel about this, but yet I'm here for it. So, it got going, and, you're introduced to Quan, and she is this kind of like rebel teenager who's hanging out with her friends. Her dad is the head of the resistance in this quadrant, and things happen to her. Automatically, we are just dropped into a battle where we're following Quan back to her resistance home, and then they are attacked. And right away, not too soon after that, the Spartans engage with these alien characters, and you're like, what's going on? Like, the people don't know, because all the propaganda they're getting is that the Spartans are not their friends. So here they are, and the Spartans are actually protecting the people within this community, this resistance outpost. And the Spartans, I mean, listen, they are getting in and putting in work. Like, I was thoroughly engaged in like the first 16 minutes, which was like this huge battle before we even got to the title card of the series itself. So it had me like from the tippy top, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see where we going. Let's keep it moving. And throughout the rest of the episode, it kind of continued this feeling, this sci-fi feeling that we are familiar with from like age-old films. And you have like this kind of sketchy doctor that's played by Natasha McElhorn, I think that's her name. I know her from Californication. I really should know her name. That's my bad. I will make sure that I know it when I talk about episode 2. But I really feel like she's someone that, do I trust her? Do I not trust her? Because throughout the episode, she tends to do things that go against the military, which is who she works for, who is funding her research. But Master Chief, who, before I get too far ahead, he is the leader of the Spartans, and he tends to have a different way of being. He's not just this soldier who follows all the orders that he's given. You know, he right off the bat, we're introduced to him, and we see him making decisions based on his own personal feelings. Like when he comes in contact with this tech, it connects with him and brings out memories that he is unaware of and has never had before. And then we see him with another one of the Spartans, and he makes a decision that kind of like triggers her a little bit. Like, I mean, we don't do things like this, but you're doing it. So, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and follow your order. So whenever we see them traveling next, it's him and Quan, because now I'm not gonna tell you how they got there, but they're now together and moving towards going back to the main military stronghold. But now we get to really see Master Chief, and he is given a direct order that gives him pause. And throughout that decision, he's left with a choice. Like, what do I do? And I am thoroughly and completely invested in this story and where it's going. I have no idea. I have no idea other than to know that I'm loving Pablo Schreiber, who I know from Orange is the New Black. I'm sure you do too. As Porn Stash, I was completely shocked. I was like, uh-oh, Porn Stash is, why are you looking good right now? And like, so just kind of like badass, like in this very quiet, commanding way that I was not expecting to be feeling about Master Chief, because I really just thought that we were going to see him. This was going to be like another Mandalorian situation where it's just him in a suit and we're just listening to him. But Master Chief has to make his own choices throughout this episode. So there we are. That is what I have thus far for this pilot episode, and I am on this ride. I loved it. I was surprised again because, like I said, at the tip, like at the tippy top, this guy who is the showrunner, he had his own views about what he wanted to do, and they seem to be working. I don't know. But I'm on this ride. I will say one thing. The aliens, when we get to the alien planet, they did look a little bit like the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. A little bit comical, but yet I'm interested. Like, I didn't dislike them, but they were a little different. But I'm here for this journey. So hopefully you are as well. And I'm ready for episode 2. So all right, Halo, let's get it going. See you next time.